Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Crooked Chicken video. Today's video we're going to do a breakdown of the next episode teaser that we got for episode 9 of Fear the Walking Dead. It looks like it's going to be a Dwight-centric episode, which I'm actually pretty excited about for a lot of reasons. Probably one of the biggest ones I guess would be we get to see him go back to the sanctuary, go back to where everything really began for him as a character, and see what his plans are, because he said towards the end of the last part of the season that he was going to go home, and it looks like maybe that he went home without Sherry, because we did see them actually part ways after the death of their son. And so I guess with the teases and everything that we were getting, we thought that maybe they went home together, but it looks like he actually goes home alone, and then maybe Sherry and for some reason June come after him. Maybe this is when the full swing of events is taking place with the war against Troy and the defense of Padre, trying to keep it from him. But I wanted to go through some snapshots I took and just kind of break down what I think we can expect for the next episode, and maybe even see some more closure like we just got in this previous episode. So let's jump into the snapshots. This first one is Dwight. It looks like he's back home in the home that him and Sherry shared together, and he's just kind of camping out there, I guess, but he sees someone coming there. He grabs them as they come in. It's this curly-headed person. We don't know who this is. We don't know if this is someone from the past or possibly someone from a new group. It's just uncertain at this point. The next shot, he has this guy pinned down, asking questions, just trying to figure out who this guy is that's coming to his home. Then the next one, we got June. She says something like, "We need you to come back." So this is probably when they're at full-blown battle with Troy, trying to defend Padre and just trying to save everyone's life, and they had to go about tracking down Dwight. Then we see Sherry, what was more than likely the sanctuary, because we see that a lot of this episode, I believe, is going to take place in the sanctuary or around it. But we got some more stuff coming up that's going to be interesting to talk about. Then we get this dude, part of a new group, maybe. Maybe they are a faction of saviors. I don't know if they're going to go that direction, but it would be kind of interesting if they did see a part of the saviors that just kind of went their own direction and then started to rebuild again. But more than likely, I could see this possibly being a new group. And then also kind of a funny thing in the background too, we have walkers with metal melted over their heads as to protect them from being killed from a distance and serve as probably a defense for the sanctuary, because maybe Dwight's camping out there or some other reason, who knows. Or maybe this isn't the sanctuary at all. We see Sherry, tears in her eyes, probably talking to Dwight maybe. And this is just one of the shots, I think, that could lead us to believe that Sherry's not going to make it out of this one. It's hard to tell, but she gets herself into some situations, I think, that we could possibly see her die in this episode. That's been the big theory that's floating around out there regarding her. Next one, we got more walkers up against probably the sanctuary door or part of the sanctuary. A lot of them with metal melted over their heads to kind of defend them from being killed so easily. Then we got a bunch more within probably what is the remains of the sanctuary. Who knows? They could be being poured in there, or just, it's hard to tell what is going to happen. It looks like we're going to have a small battle on our hands between Dwight, Sherry, June, and possibly this new group. It's just, who knows? Next one, this is one of the more famous shots, I want to say, that we've seen in a lot of teasers. We have these walkers, all what looks to have metal all poured all over their heads, and then Sherry being pushed to the ground by this section of fence, being pinned to the ground, all these walkers on top of her, so it's not looking good for her. Then we see the shot of June. I want to say this is where she has Dove, and I had called her Blue Jay in one of my previous videos, but I think that's actually June's code name that the Padre twins gave her. And so then we saw her with a shot of Dove. Looks like she's injured, so I'm thinking Dove's probably going to die too, just because, why not? She doesn't really serve that much of a purpose anyways. Then we see Dwight, again, with some more walkers, with molten metal over their heads, chained to the fence. Definitely probably a form of defense that he's built up around wherever he's at the sanctuary or where else. Then we get another shot of Sherry with this section of fence on top of her. It's just more leading to the possibility that I don't think she's going to make it out of this episode. And maybe they're going to do away with her character, because they said that a lot of this season is going to be closing open-ended things, closing characters, closing storylines, and just giving the Fear the Walking Dead world completely just be done with it. They're not going to try to spin this off, or maybe we'll see a couple characters live on through other spinoffs, but we'll see. But I don't think Sherry's going to be one of them. Then we see Dwight yelling at someone, probably the people that are attacking him, saying that you should have killed me when you had the chance. So this kind of further makes me believe that he could possibly be screaming at people that could possibly be factions of saviors, or hell, maybe this is just a rant that he's having randomly, and he's talking about Negan, how Negan should have killed him when he had the chance. But who knows, there could be other little battle scenes in between here that maybe he escaped from, and that's why he's saying you should kill him when you had the chance. But it's just interesting to see. I'm excited for the episode. And here we have Dwight laying on the ground on this home sweet home mat. This is more than likely outside of his home that he shared with Sherry, and you got another body next to him. Don't know if that's a walker, don't know who that is yet, but yeah, going on, we have another shot of Sherry reaching for the walkie-talkie, and then we got people in the background. Don't know if those are walkers, could be, but they could be part of that group. And I want to point out too that it looks like she has an injury on her side, so this kind of further feeds into the theory that she could possibly die in this episode. And maybe that is what could push Dwight to go after Negan, because if it wasn't for him, they never would have separated and had all these problems. And just, I think that we could possibly see Dwight within the Dead City spinoff. So without a doubt, this next episode I am very much looking forward to. I just did a breakdown recap of the previous one that we had today, so be sure to go check that out. But this next episode I'm definitely excited for, because it's always fun to kind of take a trip down memory lane, because we see that Dwight's going to go back to the sanctuary, back to the area where Alexandria and Hilltop and all these other communities are. Whether or not we come across anybody from those remains uncertain. I'm kind of doubting we will, because I think it would take the focus away from Dwight's part of the story. But I mean, it would be great to see some random Hilltop person that we know of, or but also it kind of feeds into what we saw at the last episode of the Daryl Dixon spinoff, where we had the flashback of Carol and Daryl speaking over the radio shortly before he disappeared, and it cuts out as she's saying so and so is back. So I'm thinking it's probably Dwight, because she says it's weird that he's back, or whoever it is. And who else would she say that about? She wouldn't say that about Rick or Michonne or any other possible Alexandrians or whoever that have gone off missing. And I think this is probably the best theory possible, that he ends up staying in the area or returning to the area after June comes and gets him. They go deal with Troy. And I think that's how it's going to transition into him possibly appearing in Dead City, because he's going to go after Negan and get revenge on him for the things that he did while under his thumb. So very excited about the next episode. I think we could see a lot of reveal, maybe even some flashbacks, and possibly the death of Sherry. I think that's a big one right there. I think we could actually see her die. But anyways, if you enjoyed the breakdown and my thoughts about it, please be sure to leave a comment, leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.